Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Well, a good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things on the other side of the glass this morning. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. We do the show from the JR Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jrconstruction.com. Phone calls to the show is service of Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting service provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Time to refresh your wardrobe for summertime with Tony's latest collection of polos, tees, woven shorts, and swimwear from Johnny O and others. Also, it is, of course, graduation season. Visit bestmastertailor.com or Tony the Taylor's Facebook page for more information. Coming up on the show, of course, the big news around the state of West Virginia. Actually, there were two big stories. One of those, we're going to let the guys on Talk Line, and also Amanda and I will handle it on midday, and that was the flooding that took place in certain parts of West Virginia. Now, here in the Kanawha Valley, we just had some heavy rain from time to time, but areas as you head toward the eastern panhandle, particularly Mineral County, just got hammered. And we've got some pictures posted about that. You can check those out on Chris Lawrence's pages or on my pages, Dave Allen Radio or at Dave A70 on X, if you'd like to see some of the pictures there. So we'll handle that on the statewide shows a little bit later on. But something that broke actually during Talkline yesterday, and then we covered it as well on Metro News Midday. That is the NIOSH, the restoration, at least the way it looks, for NIOSH in Morgantown. And here in a Charleston courtroom, Judge Irene Berger yesterday issuing her opinion on that. So the NIOSH workers were told late Monday night that they are going to be going back to work, and Brad McElhinny will join us to talk about that a little bit later on. Now, we're going to do two food segments today, and I know that you find that hard to believe when you're talking about me talking about food, but they're two similar but not so similar. We've got Mountaineer Food Bank folks in the studio with us, and momentarily, we're going to talk about the something I love, and it's barbecue. The Charley West Barbecue Festival happened this weekend. City Center, Slack Plaza, Sam Sommerville is here to talk about that. All that, plus your calls and texts, too. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline, 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text, 304-935-5008. So let's get right to it. Let's talk a little barbecue. Sam Sommerville is here. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Dave. Well, happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here. Talk about this event and also the Bob Burdette Center, to whom this benefits.
Sure. Then this is our 8th annual Charley West Barbecue Fest. It's being held at the City Center at Slack Plaza on Summer Street this Saturday. It starts at 2 p.m. and runs through 8 p.m. And as you mentioned, this benefits our after-school programming on the west side, the Bob Burdette Center. This will be the 27th year that the Bob Burdette Center has been providing after-school programs for students on the west side. It's for kindergarten through the 5th grade, and the students come there every day after school. We have certified teachers, tutors that work with our students. As soon as they arrive, we serve them dinner. We also provide them a snack before they leave and go home that evening. But as I mentioned, we help them with their homework, with their academics. We have computer labs, recreational activities, and it helps them with their academics, but then also gives them a safe haven and a place to stay after school every day.
Now, for those who may not know, Sam, who was Bob Burdette?
Bob Burdette was a pastor at a church on the west side, Emmanuel Baptist, which hosts and where we have our offices and one of our locations for the after-school program. Bob was a pastor there, always had a passion for children, and wanted to do something for children on the west side. He moved from Charleston then, but then died of cancer later, and we, because of his passion for what he did for students while he was here, we named the organization after him.
Let's get into the particulars of the barbecue fest. As you said, City Center, Slack Plaza, downtown this Saturday. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's there, as you mentioned, City Center, and it starts at 2 p.m., runs to 8 p.m. We will have competition barbecuers and backyard barbecue chefs. They'll be competing. We have judges. They'll be competing in various categories, such as best pulled barbecue, ribs, best sauce. Also, there's a wild card competition where whatever they want to fix, the judges look at that and then rank them, and they'll rank first, second, and third then in those categories. But then the public, when they come, they can buy tasting tickets, and that'll give you a chance to sample the competitor and backyard chefs what they've prepared for the day. And then you can also, if you buy 10 tasting tickets, you also get to vote for People's Choice for the best backyard chef, best competition barbecue chef. Now,
if people want to enter the competition, particularly the backyarders, is it too late to do that? Can you still
No, they can still sign up. We have a website they can sign up on, Charley West Barbecue Fest. They can go there. Dave Mincer, if they know Dave, they can reach to him. Dave is vice president of our board, and he's the one that came up with this idea and has led the effort for the last 8 years. So it's still not too late to sign up. We're happy to have as many as we can have.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you in part by Snap Fitness, with a wide array of professional wellness services, including customized personal training, licensed recovery experts, and staff of dietitians. 5 convenient locations: Charleston, Hurricane, Winfield, Barbersville, and Milton. Visit snapfitness.com, and you may have to make an extra appointment there at Snap Fitness if you attend the barbecue fest, right? What's your favorite barbecue? Do you have a favorite?
I like ribs. I'm kind of a rib guy. I like that, but I like to sample. It's really interesting. Some of these backyard chef they come up with some interesting items to sample.
And people take this stuff seriously. Obviously, the professionals do. But the backyard folks, and it's like an art. I got a lot of, I'm a simple grill guy myself, but when it comes to the people that do the smoking, and then it's big and it's competitive.
It is, and it amazes me the effort and the time and the effort that they put into it. I know that they love doing it, obviously, or they wouldn't do it. But it's such a fun event too. You get to talk to people, meet people. We have live music.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the things going along with the barbecue.
Yeah, we as I mentioned earlier, it starts at 2 p.m. You can start buying tasting tickets then. It runs through 8. We have live music. We have 3 bands starting at 2 p.m. Peddler's Glory will play from 2 to 3. 11:11 then is from 3:30 to 5. Jeremy Short then ends the day from 5:30 to 7.
What kind of music are we talking about? Just a little bit of everything?
It's a little bit of everything.
That's what you need at an event like this. You don't want too much of one thing. It's a little bit of everything.
No, and it's a great location. It's people can walk around. We're selling T-shirts. We're selling obviously soft drinks. We have craft beers that we're selling. And it's just a fun time. I love going to it. It's and how many years you been doing this? You said 8. This is the 8th year. We took about a 2-year break with COVID.
Sure, yeah.
But this is the 8th year of it.
And that's what I like about the thing too, is with these type festivals, Sam, is that people can get together, fellowship a little bit, have a good time, maybe have a cocktail, have a soda, have a water or whatever, and enjoy some great food, enjoy some great music, and you're helping out a really, really great cause too.
Yes, it is. I've been involved with our after school program I've lost count of the number of years now. It's probably 20 plus years, and it provides a great service to students on the West Side and their families, and I'm just really happy to be involved with it, and really encourage people to come out, learn more about the Bob Burdette Center, and just have a great time.
And what is it about the after-school program that you enjoy so much? Well,
I think it's seeing the children and seeing how how it helps them throughout through the year. They get reinforcement, positive reinforcement there. They have people who care for them in an after-school environment. It's a safe place for them to go, and and we see how they advance and improve over the years. And it's just really some of the stories and that our staff tells us about. It's just really touching.
All right, give us all the details again, the time, the place, and where they get tickets and all the stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, it's this Saturday, May 17th at City Center. And
they don't make that easy to pronounce. Yeah. City Center at Slack Plaza.
City Center at Slack Plaza. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it starts at 2 p.m., runs to 8 p.m., and there'll be some great barbecue, ribs, and other things to taste and to sample, and just some great music and a fun time.
It's going to be an awesome. And again, where's the best place for people to get more information? You said, I know it's on social media in different places.
Yeah, we have a website. You can look at that, Charley West Barbecue Fest. And you can get more information there. And as you mentioned earlier, we're still open to any backyard chefs that want to come down. Give us a call, reach out to us, and come on down and have some fun.
And if you're not familiar with City Center at Slack Plaza, it won't be hard to find when you pull into Charleston because you'll smell it. About the time you get to Sissonville, you'll probably smell it, right?
Oh, you do. I mean, these folks start coming in on Friday evening. Mm-hmm. They're cooking all night. And I love getting there early Saturday morning, and just the smell is just awesome.
And maybe going, well, I don't know if this is good enough, but as an official of this, Sam, you just say, well, maybe I just need to try a little bit of that just to make sure that it's competition ready, right? That's what you do?
Well, definitely. And these guys, I mean, they're so much fun. These chefs, I mean, they come around and have you try this, sampled a little bit.
And 1 o'clock, and Sam is pretty much stuffed at that point. So it's not even started yet. All right, Sam. Again, it's all happening at City Center Slack Plaza for a great cause, the Bob Burdette Center, providing meals and other services for kids on the west side of Charleston. The Charley West Barbecue Fest is this Saturday. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Quick reminder here for you that older adults should protect themselves against severe respiratory disease and more. Talk to your doctor about flu, COVID-19, and RSV vaccines. Rest less, do more. Get started. Vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Vitaylor text 304-935-5008. We'll take a break. We're talking NIOSH with Brad coming up a little bit later on in the show. And also, speaking of food, we're going to talk to the folks from the Mountaineer Food Bank when we come back right after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Poca Valley Bank locations today. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield, subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. I'm born and raised right here in West Virginia. I've got 3 daughters, so I absolutely care who comes into my home. Every technician we send to your home has been drug tested and background checked. I guarantee the best client experience or your money back. We have the best team and the best processes built around a 5-star experience. Call Best Virginia today at 681-655-1214.
Welcome back to the show. It's 9:21. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you by Hudson's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an order of cinnamon bites, $20.99. Eat in, pick up, or get delivery by going to Hudson'sPizza.com. Coming up a little bit later on the show, again, the big news yesterday. Actually, I guess the workers were informed of it Monday evening, but we really got into the story. We really got a lot of details about it yesterday from Congressman Riley Moore, then later Senator Shelley Moore Capito. That's the NIOSH cuts, or now looks like non-cuts out of Morgantown. We're going to talk to Brad McElhinny about that. I want to welcome in now, though, David Hendrickson, and Alicia Bossy here to talk about some things going on with Mountaineer Food Bank. How are you guys? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Okay, now let's talk, David, I want to start with you and about your law firm and your involvement with Mountaineer Food Bank.
Yeah, we've been supporting the Mountaineer Food Bank financially for a number of years, and it kind of dawned on me one day that we're located in a great place on Capitol Street there, 214, and a lot of events happen on Capitol Street every summer, really all through the year. And so we reached out to the Mountaineer Food Bank and said, hey, why don't you guys, let's pick some events, and why don't you guys come down and set up a table in front of our building, and you can collect food and collect money. And we're right here because there's a lot of people that come through here, like for regatta, the Christmas parade, and the first one we're going to do is the art walk. Mm-hmm. And so we got with them, and so we're going to start our new event, the first one on for the art walk.
Let me have you lower that microphone for me just a little. There you go. There you go.
Okay, sorry.
That's fine. That's a bad host right here. I should have done that before you sit down.
You're a great host. Thank you.
Alicia, let's talk about Mountaineer Food Bank overall, and then we'll get into the specifics.
Sure. So the Mountaineer Food Bank is the largest emergency food provider in the state of West Virginia. There are only 2 food banks in West Virginia. You have the Mountaineer Food Bank, and then you have Facing Hunger Food Bank down in Huntington. We are both members of the Feeding America National Network. We serve 48 of the 55 counties in West Virginia, and we have about 460 feeding agency partners. So those are your local community food pantries, hot meal programs, backpack programs. So we source the food, and then we get it out to the folks in the community, boots on the ground. And additionally, we also have some of our own programs. You might see some of our trucks out on the road. We have our mobile pantry program, Veterans Table program, Extra Mile, summer feeding. So we're out in the community.
Talk about the need of Mountaineer Food Bank and the need of the people
Sure.
right now. There's always been a need. There always will be a need. You're never going to eradicate things. You realize that there's always a need for these services. But talk about the need in 2025.
So unfortunately, food insecurity continues to climb, especially in West Virginia and in the rural areas. Right now, there are over 250,000 food insecure neighbors in West Virginia. So if you think about that, about 1 in 7 adults are facing hunger, and 1 in 5 children don't know where their next meal is coming from. So, when you really stop and think, 1 in every 7 of us is facing food insecurity. That's really like, wow, what can we do to continue to feed folks so that they aren't going to bed hungry?
And when you use that, we hear that term thrown around a lot, Alicia, this food insecurity. What is the definition of food insecurity? Because we picture in our head, somebody that has no food. That's not necessarily the case when it comes to food insecurity. Talk about that definition.
Sure. So food insecurity just means that you may not have access to healthy, nourishing food. And we want to be able to provide folks with nourishment so that they're able to be successful.
And how do you go about that?
So we, during our mobile pantry distributions, we make sure that we provide shelf-stable food in addition to fresh milk, meats, dairy, bread, vegetables. We work with some of our local farmers to supply fresh produce. A lot of times we have big bags of apples that we're giving out to our neighbors as they come through the line.
And how does the line work? How does that work?
So our mobile pantry program, we go out into the most rural areas of West Virginia. We try to service those that maybe have barriers to transportation or other issues and they aren't able to come out. Maybe they don't have a grocery store in their community. So we bring our truck in. We unload all of the food on pallets. We have volunteers that come. The neighbors line up and they drive through. And as they drive through, we load up their car with the food.
Is there any type of requirements for people to get it, or is it just open to anybody?
For our mobile food program, mobile pantry program, they have to be at SNAP, at that SNAP level.
Mm-hmm.
So we do an intake process when they line up, and as long as they meet that threshold, they're able to get access to that food. Now we do some programs like our fresh produce markets here in Kanawha County. Those are once a month, and the location kind of varies, but they're open to anybody in Kanawha County, regardless of income. There are no questions asked. As long as you live in Kanawha County, you can come through, and it's it's set up kind of like a farmer's market, so folks just walk through.
And where are you said it varies as to where it is, but give us an example of some of the places that they are, not dates or anything. But
so we've been over at we've been over in the West Side. We've been over this. We have one this Friday actually that's going to be over at the St. Albans Park, Roadside Park. Mm-hmm. We've been at local churches, so just kind of varies throughout the county.
And you talked about utilizing local farmers as much as possible. Get into that a little bit.
Yes. So we do have somebody dedicated to reaching out to our local farmers because we want to help support the local economy. So we, for example, for these events that we're going to do with Hendrickson and Long, instead of having your typical swag, we're going to be handing out popcorn from Jumpin' Johnny's Popcorn, and that's one of the local farmers that we use. And then in our Extra Mile program that we do in Clay and Mercer County, we have fresh dried fruits from another partner farmer that we use.
I mean, it's a wonderful program. It really, really is. And it was hard. And I know there are a lot of folks that provide food for people, and I get that. But when you talk about it being a food bank like it is, I mean, I guess I was shocked to learn that there's only 2 in the entire state of West Virginia that do what you do like this.
Yes, and a lot of folks may call themselves a food bank, but there's a difference between a food bank and a food pantry. So as the food bank, we are working with the retail partners. We're going out, we're sourcing that food, and then we're distributing it to the agencies across the state, and they're getting it at either a discounted rate or free. And then it stays local in the community.
It amazes me how many people are out there doing this kind of stuff. I mean, whether it's churches, whether it's civic organizations. I mean, West Virginia, we're giving people here in these parts. We really are. David, I want to go back to you for a moment. You're with the law firm of Hendrickson and Long. Other than just having a great space in downtown Charleston for these people to be set up in front of, obviously you believe in the program, or you wouldn't be here today and you wouldn't be offering that space. What is it about this program that appeals to you and the folks at your law firm?
Well, first of all, I've been giving money to the program for a number of years. I don't know how many years I've been doing that, and I think a lot of other guys in our firm do as well, guys and girls as well. And we look at the program as this. They don't have any waste. I mean, they are very efficient in what they do. There's not a lot of overhead in this program, and so it's dollars in, dollars out to the people that need the help. And so we feel really good about supporting them and making sure that they get everything they need. And we just thought this could give them an added little perk, a little more visibility, especially during the time when we have all these out-of-state people, out-of-town people coming into our community. They might as well help us as well.
And you talked about one of the events that you're going to be setting up in front of, but we're going to see you guys out, from what I understand. We're going to see you folks out a lot with the Mountaineer Food Bank and with your law firm. You're going to be at a lot of different events.
Yes, we're going to try to. We're going to try to, the first one is going to be the Art Walk.
And when is that?
May 31st. Ironically, our firm sponsors the Art Walk. So, double dip there. Yeah. And then we're going to try to do some things during the regatta, and I think we'll be set up probably every day during the regatta as we plan right now. And then during Christmas time at the Christmas parade. And
so primarily you're doing these things in downtown Charleston, but I know, Alicia, if you would not be able to do what you do without partners like this gentleman, his law firm, and a lot of other businesses that get involved around the state.
Yes, we could not do the work we do without our donors, without our community partners, our volunteers. They are really the heart of the food bank. We rely on donations to help provide some of these food products to our neighbors.
Do you have an appeal that you would have for businesses out there like the Hendrickson Long folks? I mean, do you just say, hey, here's a number, here's a website you can call, we need you? How does that work?
Yes, we do have some sponsorship opportunities available, and you can go to our website, mountaineerfoodbank.org, and click on our programs to learn about our information. You can contact me directly if you're interested in sponsoring a mobile pantry distribution or getting involved in our Veterans Table program. Our Veterans Table program, we're able to serve about 1,400 veterans a month, and that program costs about $40 a box per veteran, and that program relies solely on grants and donations.
All right, and our veterans, I mean, look, if you can't help out veterans, then I mean, I got not to editorialize, I got no room for you, because our veterans are the people that make me able to come on this radio and talk, and us to be able to do what we do in this country. So we got to take care of our veterans, and no state has ever done more for the country as far as serving and losing people as what West Virginia has. All right, let's go back and talk about this art walk for a moment. It's happening on May 31st. You guys are going to be set up out front there. What's that going to look like? People can just make donations. They can bring stuff down. What's that going to look like?
Well, we're going to have a huge banner so that we're not going to be hard to see.
Can't miss it. Can't miss it.
On the front of the building, and we're going to have it up for a couple of days, hopefully. And we're going to have a couple tables out front. There will be a bin so they can donate canned goods and things like that. And then we'll also be able to take cash donations with a scanning device that we have. We'll have people there the whole time that the art walk's going on, and just trying to get the publicity out. So we're right literally in the middle of Capitol Street at 214, and so you can't miss us. Everybody's got to walk by there at one point in time, and we hope they walk by there with a whole bag of canned goods and a bunch of cash.
That's you can't ask for more than that. And again, there's so many events going on in downtown Charleston that before you guys we talked about the Charley West Barbecue Fest that's going on.
Right.
We're going to have about 10,000 people come to town over the next week for the biking event. You got regatta going on. So many things going on out on the boulevard and whatnot. Charleston is a happening place during the spring and summer months, for that matter, anytime. So we should be able to do pretty well with it. And just remember these folks that when you come out for events especially like you said, like the art walk, bring your cash or bring your donations. You certainly would appreciate it. Alicia, I'm going to give you the final word here for an appeal to people to help out Mountaineer Food Bank in general.
We always need volunteers. We always need donors. If you want to learn more about the Mountaineer Food Bank, like I said, you can check us out at mountaineerfoodbank.org. You can email me directly at abossie, BOSSIE, at mountaineerfoodbank.org. You can follow us on social media to see what we're up to, where you can find us, how you can donate and get involved. We just really appreciate the community support. We appreciate Hendrickson and Long and everyone that currently supports us. And if you want to learn more about us, check us out.
We'll have to book you and I think I talked to you folks about booking you for our statewide show as well, because this show is focused here in Charleston in the Kanawha Valley, and you do a lot in the Kanawha Valley. You mentioned Clay County and some other areas as well, but we'll get you booked on the afternoon show as well, so you can take the message out to the people. David, God bless you for what you folks are doing at your law firm there. There's a lot of businesses in the Kanawha Valley and elsewhere that show up and do business, and that's good. That's fine, but I think you folks there realize that there's a need to give back to the community.
It's our pleasure.
All right. And Alicia, a pleasure to meet you and pleasure to have you on the show. We'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hang out with me here just 1 second. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds continue their series tonight at home against Staten Island. Tonight, it's Woof Wednesday. Bring your dogs out to the ballpark. Visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com for their social media for more information there. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. The big announcement came down yesterday that looks like NIOSH in Morgantown has been given a reprieve. Well over 100 and some workers notified on Monday that it's time to report back to work. Brad McElhinny was all over the story, as you may imagine. He's got in-depth reporting at WVMetroNews.com, and he's on these airwaves when we come back right after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Have you been injured in a trucking incident?
Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Office 222 Capitol Street, Charleston. Cases will be handled by West Virginia licensed attorneys. The attorney in this ad is not licensed in West Virginia. ForThePeople.com.
For half a century, glyphosate has affordably and effectively protected Ohio farmers' crops from invasive weeds. Without it, the impact would be felt beyond the fields, hitting Americans where it hurts, our wallets. That's why the Modern Ag Alliance advocates for farmers continued access to essential crop protection tools so food prices don't rise even more. Get the facts at controlweedsnotfarming.com. Paid for by the Modern Ag Alliance in support of Ohio farmers.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Looking to buy or sell U.S. coins or currency, or need an appraisal on a coin collection? The Coin Man in St. Albans has been established since 2009, and he's the area's expert in currency. Whether you're buying or selling coins and coin accessories, he's got you covered. But that's not all. He also deals in select antiques and glassware. Visit the Coin Man today at 2412 Kanawha Terrace in St. Albans and discover treasures that transcend time. The Coin Man, where every coin tells a story.
The latest in news, talk, and sports on 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Visit jarrett-construction.com for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
Welcome back to the show. 22 minutes away from 10. Efforting Brad McElhinny from Metro News. Brad's a busy guy. We have a call every morning about 8 o'clock. And believe it or not, when you listen to us on this station, on the network, there actually is a plan to what we do. You may not think it sometimes, especially when you listen to me, but there's actually is a little bit of a plan on what we do. And so we have a call every morning at 8 o'clock with some of us just to kind of plot out the day, what we're going to be doing and that sort of thing. And somebody on the call, Brad was on the call this morning, said, "So what do you cover today, Brad?" And Brad was out for his, he was out getting a little exercise this morning, and the statement began with, so that tells you how busy Mr. McElhinny is going to be today. So we'll have him on the air here momentarily, and so I don't know. There's only so many hours a day for Mr. Brad, and so we're going to have him with us here momentarily. The big news, I guess, out of the news department was this whole thing with NIOSH yesterday out of Morgantown. Took a lot of people by surprise that we were told Monday night that those workers in Morgantown, and again, you may be thinking, well, why is this important to this area? Well, it is important to this area for a number of reasons. Number one, it's well over 100 or so West Virginians that are taking a look at their job situation, but also the court case was in court right down the street from us here in Judge Irene Berger's courtroom about the injunction to put a halt to everything filed by a coal miner, because what NIOSH does is they do the research and whatever when it comes to black lung benefits. And so if a coal miner has got a situation where he or she has questions about their health, if it doesn't go through NIOSH, everything's put on hold. And I think the biggest issue, and we talked about this on the Metro News Midday Show, the biggest issue is that they were in sort of a holding pattern. It was that they didn't know what their status was, and they really couldn't seem to get any answers. I mean, and one of the issues was there was a particular suit filed by a coal miner, and he was kind of at the center of this whole thing. And when you're in that situation and they're trying to transfer you from one particular case, this coal miner needed an exact diagnosis and an exact paperwork. So he wanted to continue working, but they needed to move him from the inside of the coal mine to the outside, and everything was just kind of put up on hold. And so we do have, at least we have that now. Dave Allen Show on 580 Live brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants. Their services involve developing comprehensive management plans to outline strategies for controlling and minimizing asbestos exposure, perfect for commercial property owners and managers. Visit pinnaclecorp.net, because what you don't know can hurt you. Let's go to Brad. Brad, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, and thanks for having me. Hello. 2 days in a row. What are we doing tomorrow?
2 days in a row you are here. And, it's because you're important.
Shining.
All right, so we won't keep you too long today because I was telling the folks everything that you are covering today. But so take us through the timeline here because it kind of took people by surprise. I mean, apparently Monday night, the NIOSH workers were told to report to work. Who were they told to report to work by?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, thank you.
So, I mean, two things did happen almost at once. Both Congressman Riley Moore and Senator Shelley Moore Capito, who indeed are kin, announced somewhat triumphantly, at midday yesterday that that these NIOSH workers, 100 or so, would be going back to work, that they'd been called. They cited conversations with Health Secretary RFK Jr., did not seem to know at that moment, NIOSH does different things, didn't seem to know which of those NIOSH workers it was. Later in the day, Judge Berger's ruling became public, and it was a ruling that the federal government had seemingly abandoned its way of processing black lung claims, and it, by federal law, needs to have a way, and she ordered, Judge Berger did, the federal government to get back to business and do it. To do that, they're going to need those employees back, and Judge Berger, minced no words, saying immediately. So what the overlap is, I am not sure. It may be that it was the exact same news coming down through two different channels. It could be that it's a Venn diagram and just a little bit of overlap. We may learn more at this hearing this morning that began moments ago. It's a budget hearing before the House Appropriations Committee. Congressman Riley Moore is on that committee, but House and Human Services is being represented by RFK Jr. in Congress today, and Congressman Moore said he would ask him, RFK Jr., this morning, more about the details of getting some of those NIOSH workers back.
It was kind of interesting the way the whole thing broke, as I said, because yesterday I was getting ready for the Metro News midday show with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Baird and myself, Cheap Plug, powered by Salango Law. And we were getting ready for the show yesterday, and they already had, Meadows and Wilson actually already had Congressman Riley Moore scheduled to be on the show anyway. And then all of a sudden he just kind of breaks that, and then you can hear, and we played the clip yesterday on Metro News Midday, urge people to go back and listen to it. You can hear Wilson and Meadows, kind of go, no, wait, hold up, back up, as we used to say, rack them up and shoot them again. What was that again? And he just kind of threw that out there. And then news, as you said, became, started to be released, and Jeff was on with us. And then we were lucky enough to be able to garner an interview with Senator Shelley Moore Capito yesterday. She moved some things around to be able to be on Metro News Midday with me yesterday to talk about the whole situation. And then I'll give these guys a plug. I do think that Senator Capito and Senator Justice, I do believe, are going to be on Talk Line today. So. I mean, are we done now? Is it a done deal? I mean, there's a hearing going on, as you said, with RFK. Where does it stand as we speak, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, I think the black lung screening was at the center of all this. NIOSH does have additional duties, and it was hundreds of people in line to lose their jobs in Morgantown. So, two things: the job losses and the significant employer in Morgantown. According to the senator and the congressman, about 100 of those are coming back. If they are the same people who do the black lung screening, then that I think takes off the board the question of, well, how would you do black lung screening if you didn't have the people to do it, and if it's legally required? And as a health matter for coal miners who are developing the symptoms of black lung, it is very serious and it moves fast. So that could be more or less resolved. But, what we don't know, I think, is the other duties at NIOSH, those other employees, whether they are still subject to reduction in force notifications. Probably still hundreds of them are, I think, just doing the math. HHS continues to say that it's reorganizing and assessing its roles of various things under its scope. So, I think more to come. It's this administration really on multiple levels, the federal administration, the executive branch, keeps you guessing. Senator Justice would say, don't have your hair on fire. But, I mean, they'll announce, sounds really dramatic, and, there are questions and real worries, and then the pattern is to scale it way back, maybe not to exactly where it was, but to kind of let the freak out happen and then retreat. So,
did you just say freak out? Brad, did you just say freak out? Not to be confused with freak off, which, is being talked about a lot in the Diddy trial these days. Please tell me that's not what you meant.
Freak out.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought I was on the mountain here.
Well, we wouldn't be playing that on the mountain, I can tell you that right now, but go ahead.
That's another word for what Senator Justice would say.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your hair get on fire.
Yeah, he would.
But on the other hand, how are you supposed to react to things that are very serious? And it's at multiple levels. It's the tariffs. The deportations are not necessarily just caravans and people coming over the border. It's college students at Marshall and WVU who have gotten notifications that they're going to have to go back home. Things are happening just every facet of life, and initially they seem extreme, and then eventually, the pattern does seem to be that things get scaled back, and that appears to be what is beginning to happen with these jobs at the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Jute, J-O-O-T Security Systems. Visit protectedbyjute.com or follow them on Facebook. All right, Brad, I know you're busy. Before we let you go, just give me about 30 to 45 seconds or so. You're keeping an eye on the state school board meeting that's happening at 10 o'clock this morning. Talk about that.
Yeah, somehow I'm doing Congress and the state school board at the same time. Thank goodness for streaming technology.
Yes.
The state school board has multiple issues. That's a 10 a.m. meeting if you're out there in listener land. You should listen to Talkline at 10 a.m., but you could keep half an eye on the streaming of the West Virginia State School Board. And what I'm watching for is, first, public comment about the governor's executive order saying that the state needs to abide by religious exemptions to its vaccination requirement policies in the schools. That's getting a pretty good amount of pushback because the direct word of state law says differently. It says kids have to have a certain number of vaccinations, and the only exemption is for medical reasons, not religious in state law. So that's going to get, I think, significant attention during the public comment period of that state board meeting. There is also on the agenda a legal action section where the state board will discuss sort of its legal status of various things. The vaccine executive order by the governor is mentioned in that section of the agenda. The board could actually go into private session to discuss legal matters, so that would be of great disappointment for me because I'm not invited. But those are the main things with today's state school board meeting. And I think it's going to be of significant public interest.
Absolutely. And of course, Brad, as you said, you're going to be covering that and 10,000 other things today, along with our other members of the news team here. Listen online, listen on air, listen however you can, and follow on social media as well. And Brad will probably hear from you at some point on Metro News Midday today as well. All right, Brad, I appreciate it. I promise, unless something major happens, I'll give you tomorrow off from the show because you get enough to keep you busy. But, I've lied to you before. So we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
Hey, take care. Thank you.
All right. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy tackles pressing health issues, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and RSV. Great podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care featuring WVU Medicine's experts. Physicians aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles. Great resource. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com. Under the podcast menu, start your journey towards better health today. Text says, Dave, what's the text number for the afternoon show? I'm glad you asked because there are two different numbers. The text line for this show, the local show, the Tony the Taylor text is 304-935-5008. For the afternoon show, it's the same as it is for Talkline and Hotline and Sportsline, all the lines. It's 304-TALK-304. That's the text line number for the afternoon show. If you want to hook up with me during the afternoon show, 304-TALK-304. That's the number for all the lines. All right, talk line, sports line, hotline. So there you go. All right, we got to take a break. I do have some text to get to. We'll get to those here momentarily. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you're injured, visit forthepeople.com. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Warmer days are around the corner. Take advantage and start taking care of those home improvement projects on your list. Members Choice West Virginia Federal Credit Union can help you improve your space with our home improvement loan program. Whether you need to replace your roof, fix your HVAC, install a generator, or something else, MCWV FCU has you covered. Our home improvement loans have a fast processing time and no appraisal is needed. Learn more at memberschoicewv.com. Loans are subject to credit approval. Restrictions may apply. Equal housing lender NMLS number 422340.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Retirement is more than a dream. It's a destination. Yet the journey can feel uncertain. At 4th Avenue Financial, they guide you with expertise and care. They help you navigate the questions. Am I on the right track? Or how do I ensure lasting income? Tailoring plans to your unique vision. They bring peace of mind to your retirement journey. Trust in their experience, proven through every market's ebb and flow. 4th Avenue Financial. Retirement done right. Get started at 4thavenuefinancial.com.
Securities offered through Jenny B. Cole Financial Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny B. Cole Advisors Incorporated.
Welcome back to the show. Ryan Nicholson, senior producer, in charge of things today. 9:54. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley, offering custom tailored trainings to supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu. Text says, Dave, Trump says he was deporting really bad people, then gets on a plane to go visit with the murderers and people that helped mastermind 9/11, says a texter. Coming up on tomorrow's show, we're going to have more on this Friday's Dumont YMCA golf tournament at Sleepy Hollow Country Club there. Our sister station, 98.7 Mountain, Steve Animal Company, will be broadcasting live from there. Tom Payton, the Payton Law Firm, one of the sponsors about that, and we talked to them on Monday. They're going to give us a little bit of an update on the show coming up tomorrow. Big stuff happening on the west side this weekend. We'll get into that, and we're going to discuss some issues with the Kanawha Ambulance Service Authority. That's all coming up on tomorrow's show. Text says, it's interesting that the governor is having tremendous trouble filling basic positions in his office. Could it be he can't get along well with others? Yes, it is, says the texter. Now, that previous part was the texter, not me. I don't want people to get confused, because sometimes I think people get confused as to what I say or what other hosts on this network say and what the texter says. That was the texter that was saying that. Text says, if I was a betting man, I'd bet Joe Manchin's going to run against Morrissey for governor. I don't know. We had the former Senator Manchin on the show, on the Metro News Midday show a month or so ago, and I'll be honest with you. I think he's done. I think he's done as far as running for elected office. I mean, I could be wrong. It's pretty wild weather across the Mountain State yesterday. More to come, the weather folks tell us. Some really significant flooding, as I mentioned earlier, in the Mineral County area. I've got pictures posted about on my social media pages, courtesy of Chris Lawrence, Dave Allen Radio on Facebook, and at Dave870 on X. And, of course, our prayers and thoughts to those that are impacted. The guys will get into it on Talk Line a little bit later, and also Amanda and I will discuss it on Metro News Midday coming up a little bit later on. TJ Meadows is here. How you doing, man?
Why do you keep saying all this stuff on the radio?
Why do I say stuff on the radio?
I hear you say these things, confusing the listeners, and then trying to blame it on the text line or something,
I think, I'll give you a perfect example of that.
Happened to me yesterday.
It happens all the time. We read text on the show, and people think it's coming from us. perfect example in the Metro News Midday show a couple of weeks ago, coming off that Marshall baseball win over WVU, and I'm a big supporter in that you can support both schools. I mean, you can. So I read a text from somebody taking a shot at WVU by referring to them as Southern Pittsburgh University. That wasn't me that said that. It was the texter. And this gentleman, and to his credit, which doesn't happen very often in social media, he did apologize. But this gentleman on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, said on the show, I can't believe Dave Allen referred to WVU as Southern Pittsburgh University. And I quickly pointed out Dave Allen didn't say that. The texter said that. I was reading the text. So please know there's a difference between what us hosts say, whether it's you, me, Wilson, Caridi, Weekly, Amanda, whatever, and what the texters are saying. I try to say text says before everything. So
I remember when I was a student at WVU many moons ago, somebody came up with the idea to print T-shirts, and on the front it said University of New Jersey. On the back it said Morgantown Campus. Those things were selling like hotcakes because there are a lot of Jersey folks that go to WVU.
Yeah, obviously. I had something I was going to bring up on the show, but I don't know whether I want to. Now, do I want to discuss the email or not?
Email?
Yeah, the email. That's once I texted you yesterday about the email that management here got about me.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
I sent it to you, moron. I sent you the text of the email.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I don't have a text from you.
Go and look in a text thread between myself, you, and Brad and Wilson, and you'll see it.
Then bring it up.
Well,
okay. You're talking about you sent yesterday during my show. The one you sent.
Yes. Yeah, I like to text you while you're on the air. That's always fun. That's always
fun.
Go
for it. Bring it up.
Well, it's just somebody referred to me as a commie. They sent the managers here said that they would not listen to the commie anymore. What about me says commie? I'm like the ultimate capitalist. People don't really want to know what my solution to the border issue is because I'd probably get arrested if I told you. So, I mean, what about me as communist? I don't, just because I don't worship at the altar of Donald Trump doesn't mean I'm a communist. I mean, I'm a past Republican Party chair. I'm a registered independent now. I'm anything. I may be a lot of things, but a commie is not one of them. I mean, I'm the ultimate capitalist, man.
So when you come on my show from now on, your theme music is gonna be the Soviet national anthem. That's what we're gonna play.
I don't.
Khrushchev
isn't that what
Comrade?
Isn't that what Hoppy used to do when Marsh was on the show? Didn't he do
I can't recall.
Like
it sounds like something Hoppy would do.
Right.
Hey, listen, you know what? Let me vouch for you.
Yeah,
you're a red-blooded American capitalist, just like me.
Yeah.
You're a great American, Dave, a great West Virginian.
Country club Republican, I am. All right.
Darn tootin'.
What's on the show today?
Now you ask me. Coming up at 10:06, we have Shelley Moore Capito, Jim Justice at 11:30. So we're going to run the congressional delegation today. We'll talk to the AFL-CIO about broadband. What's happening to those jobs that would come with the broadband? They'll weigh in on that. Plus your phone calls and your texts.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, little something.
All right. See you today. I will at noon. Metro News Midday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.